Our next guest is a Grammy Award-winning singer, songwriter, and producer who is currently nominated for 6 Grammy Awards, including Producer of the Year. His band, Bleachers, will release their new self-titled album on March 8th. Please welcome back to the show our friend Jack Antonoff, everybody. Welcome back. How are you, my friend?
I'm really good.
That's great. I'm glad to hear it.
I'm fine.
I want to talk to you about stuff, but first, I don't want to belabor this. I want to congratulate you on a few things. You pointing at Fred?
Yeah.
Is Fred pointing at you? I don't want to look. I have asked him to stop. Oh boy. You got married. Congratulations.
Yeah.
It's very exciting. August. Do you feel like you had enough, like, I was hard knowing that this is going to pass so quickly? Did you focus on the night? Were you like, I'm going to remember how great this is the whole time? Were you present?
I think it's for everyone else.
Yeah.
And
Interesting.
I think that's great,
Yeah.
you know?
Do you feel like, as somebody who performs for a lot of people all the time, you were able to be like, this is just a performance for them?
That's what I thought would happen.
Yeah.
And then I was wrong. So, someone told me, you won't laugh at this, that when you die and when you get married is the only time everyone you love is in a room.
Yeah.
They're like, we're all dead. And I was like, oh, that's just a thing someone says, and I perform for a living, so I don't mind if the attention's on me. And then as soon as it started, my whole body became wet.
Yeah.
It was really beautiful. I'm looking for jokes, but it was like just really beautiful.
I'm really glad. It should be
and,
beautiful. That is a perfect way for it to be.
My biggest takeaway is this crazy emotional twist when we all have this like armor that we wear, like, oh, I'm bad at relationships, or I'm this, or I'm that. And then if you come to a point in your life where that just wasn't true,
Yeah.
you have to do so much unpacking of that.
Yeah.
That's a funny thing, you know?
Absolutely. We're
Yeah.
like, oh, so it wasn't that. It was a different thing.
Yeah, I was just not time or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's been the big thing I'm focused on. Is sort of like, oh, for all those years I had all this mythology, and I just, it would just.
Just hadn't met the right person. That's all.
You have a nice wife.
I do.
Yeah. I'll say this.
You're the first person who's had this much trouble with Fred being in their eye line.
10 seconds to explain it.
Yeah.
Me, Fred, Andy Samberg, Rick Moranis, we're just a kind of person.
Yeah.
And
It's true.
yeah.
So this must be
And-
great. So when you're in the same room with them, you do feel a need to be like, I'm here.
I don't feel it, but like other people, like people on the street will be like, "You look like Fred Armisen," and I'll or like you look, in a nice way. It's great. And
The way you were making them say it didn't sound nice. I think, like, on an aura level, you also have a similarity in a very positive way. I like both of your vibes a lot. Yeah. You know what would be a really funny thing to do to you is, like, when we put this on TV tonight, edit in a empty drum kit.
that would be funny. Yeah.
So this whole time, like, Fred isn't here, and it's like we're all, like, humoring you. I just real quick.
Sorry, it's about you. I'm sorry.
No, it's not about, it's about you. I feel like we've made this about Fred, really.
Yeah.
We're being honest.
But he he made that bed,
He did.
sitting up there,
Sitting up there on his
Yeah.
high horse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
bang bang, splash splash.
Look at me,
yeah.
look at me. 6 Grammy nominations. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Lana Del Rey album, Taylor Swift album. That's some very good work. Congratulations very much.
I'm really proud of those two because I think in my industry, like there's this like endless like rah, pivot this way and that way, and I've had a few really Lana and Taylor where we've just worked for a long period of time and like found this space where it's like gets like loonier and loonier and more exciting, and it just makes me feel. And it's the same thing with my band. The record we just made, it maybe even ties into the marriage too. Like I think a big theme is like investing in long relationships. It makes me feel like sweet.
And doesn't it also mean that, because again, there is, I think a music business has a reputation as everything has to be fraught and combative.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you found yourself in a place when you started an album with somebody you have a long relationship with where you're like, this just can be fun?
Well, making albums is hard enough on the mind and body that it seems like an embarrassment to introduce like dissonance in the actual process.
Yeah.
It's almost like we're fighting at something so much bigger, so it seems so crazy. It's like we're in a storm to like figure out these things. So it's so weird that you would ever be like, pick on the person next to you. I always feel like that's perpetuated by people who. When I was younger and I always wanted to do music, people would always be like, well, that's a tough life. And it's like, well, it's all a tough life. And it's also a beautiful life. And I wonder which guidance counselors got together and were like, we're gonna on this job.
Yeah.
Because it's not even that weird. It's not even like I want to be like fly in space. It's like there's music everywhere, and there's so many jobs in music, and there's music here. And
yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
if somebody walked into a guidance counselor and said, I want to be an astronaut, they'd be like, great.
Exactly. But
even though there's like no
there's no jobs.
astronauts.
Like if someone wants to like be an artist or work in music, somewhere along the way, it might be ending, but somewhere along the way, there's this idea of like, let's get a plan B. Or that even if you do it, your life is horrible. Everyone's always like, I don't know how you do the traveling. And I'm like, I don't know how you do the sitting. Yeah.
But you don't do that. Try not to say that.
I don't.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Leave that to Fred.
Yep.
That's a classic Fred line. Last time you were here, we talked about your collaboration with Bruce Springsteen. And then you did a show across the street at Radio City.
Why didn't you come?
You didn't invite me.
Jimmy Fallon came. He just showed up. Sorry,
Did he?
you can cut this part.
No, leave it in. Leave it in. I want them all to know. But this is amazing. This photo makes me so happy because I know how much he means to you.
The photo is really speaking a truth because I'm looking up and just sort of, I see myself being like, thanks for the roadmap in the photo.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. It's nice because you are collaborating in the photo as well, right? It's not just like worship. You're actually working together.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know. It's like you're paying a nice homage to him there.
Well, I mean, he's obviously one of the great poets and musicians of our time, but music comes from a landscape. I come from a place New Jersey, that is very misunderstood. So you have to. Literally not a joke.
Yeah.
I guess the name is a punchline, but it's you need people, and for me it was Springsteen, the East Street Band, it was Southside Johnny, it was Saves the Day, it was Lifetime, it was Lauryn Hill. There was all these things that came out of New Jersey that said, okay, like this place that is so misunderstood has a voice that. And specifically with Bruce and that writing, the landscape, it's like, it's what we do there. We drive on highways and think, and gives you a lot of courage to write and not just drive into the city and pretend you're from there.
It was fantastic. It's a fantastic story you tell, and I'm really happy for all your great producing work. It's really exciting that Bleachers has a new album, and it's so exciting you're going to do a song for us tonight.
Yeah, okay, we're first time we're going to play it.
I'm very excited to hear it. You guys, Jack Antonoff. We'll be right back with a performance from Bleachers.